Chapter 9. Harnessing e-commerce and social media to explode growth. I got a WhatsApp message from Art Jonak. The title alone had me petrified to click the link. The title said, MLMers on Instagram versus MLMers in real life. I could only imagine what the link would reveal. The posers and imposters who rent a Ferrari for a day, posting pics like they own it. The beginners earning $400 a month that claim to be millionaires. Or would it be a guy with a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other promoting a wellness company? I held my breath and clicked. False alarm. Fortunately, the post turned out to be a really clever Instagram account from a comedian, just poking fun at the way people exaggerate things in social media, just in general. But my trepidation when I saw that first message was real. Very, very real. How many times have we held our breath or our nose as we watch somebody promoting our business as they stray over the line of integrity? It's a whole new world. Now, the situation isn't just some guy bloviating to 5 people in his living room, or even a sketchy team member exaggerating in front of 200 people in a Marriott conference room. There are people making posts on social media that sometimes get thousands, tens of thousands, or even literally millions of views. Your events are being live streamed across the internet, and there is a digital record of every stupid, ignorant, or illegal claim your people ever make. So, how do we make this problem go away? We don't. So let's get that out of the way right now, boo. The dark side of technology is like bullying, child abuse, and mistreating animals. You can hate these problems, speak out about them, and fight them. And you should. But unless you remove humans from the equation, these issues will always exist. So company executives and even many team leaders might not like what I have to say next, but it's the truth. The internet is not a fad, and you can't keep waiting for it to blow over. You can't ban your people from using social media. Technology is making a cataclysmic change in the way we have to do business, and you can't stop it. You certainly won't be able to stop your people from making mistakes and sometimes crossing over the line. And the new reality of technology amplifies and exposes those mistakes to the whole planet. So we're going to have to get smarter, not just with tech in general, but with social media and e-commerce in particular. Embracing e-commerce, technology, and social media. As we move away from the archaic model of hype recruiting-based network marketing and forward into the new model of customer-driven leverage sales, I believe e-commerce, technology, and social media are the most important issues we need to address today. When I'm consulting with executives in C-suites these days, the advice I'm given most frequently is this. You have to stop thinking of yourself as a nutrition, cosmetics, utility, skincare, cleaning products, whatever company, and start thinking of yourself as a tech company. A tech company that happens to market nutrition, cosmetics, utility, skincare, cleaning products, or whatever. There were about 10 of us masterminding at the home of one of the group. This was a top secret get-together with some of the biggest names in our profession. Art Jonak put it together and dubbed it the $1 billion retreat because of the billions of dollars in sales produced by the teams of those people attending. We each had our chance to address the group and suggest items and issues we should devote our brainpower to. When my turn came, I said the single biggest issue we faced was how we could harness tech and social media in our businesses moving forward. I challenged the group to explore what the perfect online opportunity presentation on social media would look like. And we brainstormed that idea for 2 days. Finally, we came up with a concept to test on Facebook. That was about 3 years ago, and the results have been stunning. The members of our mastermind and many other leaders in leverage sales have created huge volumes doing these kind of presentations. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. As a distributor, you might be intrigued with the idea of utilizing social media to build your influence, or you might see it as a tangible strategy for growing your business. The truth is, you need to look at both aspects. The macro is building your influence over the long term. The micro is crafting an immediate and measurable increase in your business and income right now. Let's concentrate on the real-world reality you need to embrace. Social media is the primary method of interaction between a large percentage of our friends and family. We need to be employing this in our systems. Social media has changed almost every personal and business interaction in the world today. Its effects are reverberating through every process of the business, from prospecting to enrolling, customer acquisition to training. As leaders, we have to immerse ourselves into integrating this into our processes, systems, and cultures immediately. Pretty much everything that used to be done offline is today being broadcast live online. The slightest mistake with an income claim or product testimonial now has the real possibility of attracting severe regulatory action. Even a simple before and after pic of somebody's weight loss results could be problematic in a lot of jurisdictions. Those of you operating in highly regulated industries, such as nutrition, insurance, and others, are in particular danger. I get that. As we discussed, social media now increases the likelihood that stupid behavior will be recorded and broadcast to an audience you would rather it didn't. I get that too. But social media isn't going away anytime soon. And if you don't figure out a way to effectively utilize it with your team, you and they will be at a serious marketing disadvantage. People in our business have been predicting the death of home meetings and hotel meetings since the 80s at least. It appears those obituaries were premature because they ain't dead yet. I would argue that they never will be. So, please don't take this chapter as my argument for eliminating personal contact, warm market, and meetings. It most certainly is not that. What I am saying is that you will employ social media even when you're working your warm market. Social media will be an integral part of the qualifying and recruiting process. And those one-on-one, home, hotel, and online presentations can and will be woven together synergistically. And the bigger issue is the ever-increasing role technology and e-commerce are having in our business. Any company today without effective mobile apps and replicated websites is placing their distributors at a huge disadvantage. Let's look at the potential in growing markets. One qualification on all this before we dive into specifics. What I'm sharing with you right now is the reality in first world markets. Internet access, tech adoption, and the cost of broadband will impact the speed of implementation in markets that are currently considered second or third world. But this current first world reality will eventually extend around the globe and much more quickly than people realize. So if you're listening to this right now and you're down in Honduras and you're saying, well, people don't have the broadband, they don't really use mobile apps, they don't have the data plan on their phone. I get all that, but I promise you, it's going to be integrated much quicker than you think. A huge number of my followers are down in Africa. But again, you see where they're doing satellites to do broadband, and really very quickly the entire world will be online. And everything we're talking about this chapter, it will be happening everywhere. First world, second world, third world. Already, a large number of people doing business in poor markets, such as India and Africa, have smartphones and 3G or 4G Wi-Fi. The business model in many companies is evolving away from the old MLM style and toward an e-commerce approach more appropriate to our times. As I laid out in Chapter 2, the reputation of MLM is in tatters, but the reputation of e-commerce is sensational and getting better. We've entered both the technology era and the gig economy. People are driving Uber a few days a week, monetizing videos of their cat on YouTube, selling their handicrafts on Pinterest, and drop shipping all sorts of things they can promote online to their friends without ever stocking any inventory. Leverage sales offers a lot of e-commerce drop ship possibilities. We need to embrace this trend and make it our own. This type of leverage sales is exploding in Asia right now. People there idolize Jack Ma of Alibaba, and this is basically what he's done and teaches, and they love it. Listen to this tweet from Amway President Doug DeVos. Here's what he said. It's incredible to see how quickly mobile has changed the Amway business in China, our top market. 85% of product sales now come from online. Great efforts by our digital leaders in China to drive a quick change across the business. There's a mobile app. That's the end of Doug's tweet. That's me talking now. There's a mobile app called Rappi that offers an on-demand delivery service in Latin America. Users can order groceries, food, medications, or Avon, and their products are delivered within 2 hours. Think about when I was telling you the story when I ordered the vitamins and they said they're going to be there on Sunday. Now people down here are ordering Avon and the products are delivered within 2 hours. So not only must we embrace social media for running and promoting the business, but we also need to incorporate more aspects of e-commerce and the gig economy. All right, let's talk about focusing on functionality and processes. Because tech is changing quickly and constantly, let's not get bogged down with the intricacies of the individual platforms. These are always in a state of flux. Right now, Facebook and Instagram are certainly hot. A year from now, it could be two completely different platforms, and probably will be. So instead, I want to focus on functionality and processes. These are the critical elements in terms of how social media will be able to impact your business. In terms of functionality, we must begin with the role of mobile apps in operating the business. In the first world, this is the biggest sea change in human behavior and marketing practices in a generation. Virtually everything we do on a daily basis is now impacted by its connection with a smartphone. Mobile apps change how we buy, how we sell, how we connect, how we learn, and essentially how we do almost everything. We are fast approaching the point where there will be 5 billion smartphones on the planet. And nobody knows how many smartwatches, other Wi-Fi gear, or even implant devices will be in use. You're probably mindful of the increasing use of mobile apps around you, but it's still unlikely you're really cognizant of just how disruptive they will actually be over the next decade. Everything in business, and lots of other endeavors, runs on marketing. Over the next 10 years, mobile apps will disrupt marketing more than newspapers, radio, direct mail, television, and the internet did combined. And because you're in leverage sales, you better listen to that last sentence again. Over the next 10 years, mobile apps will disrupt marketing more than newspapers, radio, direct mail, television, and the internet did combined. Every process we perform in our business ultimately ends up being done on a smartphone. Prospecting, ordering, enrolling, marketing, communicating, training. We could delve into this deeper, but that's not really the point. The real point is that our complete and utter devotion to smartphone mobile apps will impact every aspect of the business. Yet we have an alarming number of companies in our space that don't even have mobile-first websites or don't provide viable, replicated websites for their distributors. The companies in leverage sales seem to be 10 years behind the curve here. And in the tech space, 10 years is like 100. So, for you company owners and company executives listening to this right now, you need to make this a top priority and heed my advice about becoming a tech company first. All right, let's explore building volume with social media. Now, for you distributors, let's go back to something you have a lot more control over, your social media accounts, and how you can use them to develop your business. Here's what I think may be the most relevant issue in our discussion. There's no longer an argument about doing the business face-to-face versus using technology like social media. Social media is face-to-face today. Seriously, that's just how people interact. These days, I find out when my nieces or nephews are getting married, having a baby, or going into the hospital from Facebook. It wouldn't even enter their minds to actually, call family members and tell them, hey, I'm going to the hospital. No, they post it on Facebook and they just assume we're all going to see it there. And if you called them, and I'm talking about my nieces and nephews now, if I called them and said, man, my feelings are hurt. Why didn't you tell me you're getting engaged? And they would say, don't you follow me on Facebook? The fact is, social media is an integral part of all of our lives and will continue to do so. And every business in the world, including ours, has to use it to varying degrees. But perhaps here's the most compelling thing to consider. Employing social media in our profession is extremely efficient, effective, and enjoyable. Let me stipulate again, it's important not to get sidetracked into the intricacies of the different platforms because the platforms are always in a state of constant flux. But the functionality and practices I'm about to describe will continue to be enduring and effective. Allow me to submit a mix of just some of the functions and practices I see working right now with a stunning degree of success. Let's begin with something simple, compelling profiles. The point I'm about to make here may sound elementary, but it's vital. Make sure your profiles are set up to actually attract, not repel people. That clever, funny pic of you quaffing a 64-ounce schooner of malt lager was really cute in your college days. It's probably not doing you a lot of good right now that you're a distributor for a wellness company. Find an inviting pic congruent with the kind of image you want to portray. It should go without saying, but won't, that if you're making snarky, insulting posts trolling people, you're going to lose a lot of candidates. Your online profiles are your organic resume. If your bio starts with the words, "If you support," and then put in the name of any political figure, "please unfriend me right now," you're not going to win a lot of popularity contests. Now, if you feel that you were placed on this earth to point out the failings of other people and a supernatural entity anointed you to explain to other people how stupid their political opinions are, by all means, follow your passion. But please, quit leverage sales and become a cable network TV host instead. All right. Next one, low-key independent distributor advertising. Keywords there, low key. This is a simple practice that's picking up more and more steam. Some people are doing this in bigger ways with less duplicability by learning the skill sets of buying and targeting Facebook ads or Instagram story ads. I'm not a big fan of that because, again, it doesn't duplicate. Others are doing this much more simply and with better duplicability by simply working with the people who have already liked or followed them. Sometimes they're as low-key as promoting the benefits of their products or opportunity in their bio. They're just putting it out there for people who may be interested. Others step it up a little higher by creating regular promotional posts or even placing camera-ready ads provided by the company in their feeds. So, something to consider. Next thing we've already talked about, live online streaming presentations. Huge growth is happening in this area, one I'm a strong proponent of. In this case, you're taking the live nature and energy of hotel meetings and replicating them in a live online format. As mentioned earlier, a member of our $1 billion retreat is doing one each month to close out the month strong. They create a show special of one certain group of products and alert all of the team members beforehand as to what the offer is. Then afterward, each member gets back with the candidates they sent to the presentation. They're enjoying extraordinary success selling the show special and building new customers. Other companies with weekly pay plans are doing a similar plan, but with weekly shows. One twist that can up the energy and results even more is streaming live shows on location, and meaning from a live event where there's an audience in the room. This is something I love to do. The online group and the in-person group feed off the energy generated by each other. So I might be doing a presentation in Moscow and have 500 people in the room, right? So I'll jump on and we'll stream it on Facebook at a time when, everybody's been prepped to know that I'm going to be going live at this time, and they can be putting candidates on. So the camera starts on me and I'm just on the stage, and I say, and here I am with 500 of my closest friends. And we turn the camera and they're all jumping up and down and screaming and cheering. Man, so you got great energy in the room and you got great energy on the live stream. These are especially helpful in new markets where the local team isn't large enough yet to have their own meetings with a big crowd. Bringing everyone together from around the country or even the world online creates the same kind of social proof and high energy that a huge offline meeting of 1,000 people produces. And these streaming events aren't just limited to the traditional opportunity meeting presentations. Some distributors are essentially doing personal QVC-type variety shows, entertaining their candidates and customers with folksy stories, humor, and viewer interaction, all while weaving in product offers. So let's look at pre-recorded streaming presentations. These presentations are pretty much the same dynamic as the live streaming ones. The difference is they are pre-recorded and hosted on the company website or a social media platform. Then distributors have the option of contacting people in person, by app, through social media, or on the phone, and sending candidates to a specified link at any time, meaning they could just call up 5 people today and send them to that presentation. Tomorrow they could call 2 more, send them to that presentation. So it's there anytime they need it. In other cases, these distributors are regularly posting the link with a catchy write-up on their social media feeds. Online sample offers, another thing I see happening a lot. This is an approach that's working great for developing new retail customers, who, by the way, frequently become builders down the road. It's done by posting ads in your social media feeds for a special trial offer for a sample. A number of companies are having astounding success with products right now, such as keto coffee or energy drinks. There are a few different scenarios that I see working well right now. First one, the candidate pays a nominal amount, usually in the U.S. $3 to $5 range, ostensibly to cover shipping and handling. Other option, the distributor eats the costs and the candidate gets the trial product for free. Or, in some models, the ad is simply for the sample. Price isn't mentioned. And only after a candidate responds with interest does the distributor decide whether to send the sample free or ask for a small amount. Online product trial offers. This strategy works in a parallel manner to the small fee or free trial program. Team members make an offer through a mobile app, or they could do it manually in their feed, but this time they're offering a larger selection, an entire package of related products. This might be a $20 or $25 price point. This package offers a larger product quantity with the idea of demonstrating a product result that might take longer to see. For example, I see people doing a 2-week weight loss program in this manner. Creating free information funnels. This is a marketing technique that's been around forever, just updated to harness the medium of social media. The idea is simple. Offer some information of value for free with the goal of positioning yourself as a knowledgeable resource or friendly neighborhood specialist with helpful information. Once someone gets the free information, could be a special report, a video they watch, might be an e-book or a booklet, you now have a qualified candidate to follow up with offers for your products. Let's talk about creating product benefit-centered groups, meaning groups of people based around the benefit of the product line. This process is producing dramatic and powerful results for the people who are doing it well. Distributors start a Facebook group, a WhatsApp group, or a WeChat group centered around a topic like wellness, fashion, athletic performance, or something like that. They populate the page or the thread with continually added content. Live broadcasts, videos, pictures, and usually scads of testimonials. Then they use the group as a follow-up resource by inviting candidates and customers into the group. So let's suppose, example, you're in a nutrition, or let's say you're in a weight loss company. So you've got this Facebook group and you have recipes showing all the products that you can make and tasty, delicious smoothies and whatnot. And you got before and after pictures and you've got other tips and helpful weight loss stuff. So now you got a candidate. They've gone through one or two steps in your ladder of escalation. They're still not sure. You invite them to join the group, and then they get all this validation and social proof. All right, let's talk about creating branded reseller social media accounts. There are a couple of companies absolutely killing it with this strategy right now. It's a unique approach, very focused on creating large numbers of retail customers. In the case of one of these companies, their product line is leisure and workout clothing. The basic scenario involves each new team member creating a new Instagram account, one specific for selling their product line. So the distributor doesn't use their personal Instagram account, even if they already have one. They create a new one, branded with this interest, which in this case is fashion. Probably half of the company's initiation training is about setting up these Instagram accounts. They work with their people to make sure the account has a memorable handle, a great pic, and a fun bio that explains what they do in a catchy way. Then the team member will send invites from their personal Instagram page and their other social media accounts to the new business page. So in other words, if you got your 27 people who follow you on your personal Instagram page, but now you create an account for fashion, or you create an account for sports nutrition, or you create a page for weight loss, you invite your personal people so they know if they accept that invite that you will be talking about that topic. And so they're not going to get mad if you post it 3 times a day or 5 times a day because they've signed up. They've shown they're interested in that. They also identify other people to follow who have similar interests, knowing that a certain percentage will look at their page and follow them back. Then it's all about making posts, about 80% product-centered, and the rest is fun lifestyle posts. They might do 4, 7, or even 10 posts in a day. And like I said, people don't unfollow them because it's a topic they're interested in. Whereas if they were doing that on their personal page, they would be alienating and having a lot of people unfollow them. These posts are done with appropriate hashtags, so they also generate many new followers. But the big day is once a week when new products are announced or old products are restocked. The company sends an email to all the reps, and as well, they have their own corporate Instagram support page that all the reps follow, where they can post videos explaining the new outfits and include pictures. The reps can then resend the pics and videos or create their own Instagram stories about these new items. This particular company is growing like a weed and doing about 50% of their volume on these weekly launch days. So I hope you found these helpful. This is another one of those chapters that I just think if you got just this chapter, you got your money's worth from the book, because this is the new reality of work today. And again, these are just some examples that are working really well right now. This will evolve as social media evolves and the business evolves. So I hope you follow me on Twitter and, the other social media stuff, so that as stuff develops, you'll see. I'm going to be doing training of this book on my Direct Selling Daily Facebook page, so that you can kind of create book clubs with your team members, and you can jump on once a month and get a training on how to apply this stuff, and even talk about what's happening right now. And of course, randygage.com is my website. Make sure you follow me there, and then you'll always know when I'm doing something. So these are just some of the fun examples of how people are successfully building volume with social media in our profession today. The possibilities are endless, and like I say, they will evolve as both social media and our profession does. Now, this is definitely one of the areas in which you should counsel with your sponsorship line and explore what the best practices are for your specific company and product line. I simply wanted to spark your imagination with these examples and spotlight some of the exhilarating new strategies that are possible now. I will also say this. I expect this chapter will create considerable debate in the profession. There are still a great many people who believe that strategies like these cannot be readily duplicated. But at this point, I believe that's missing the mark. Is it really any harder to train someone how to search a hashtag, to follow appropriate people and engage with them, than it is to teach them an invitation script to use when they're calling someone? Yes, your new member orientation training will need to change. But I would argue that all of your trainings need to change. You have to reflect the reality of what's going on in the world today. The other thing to consider here is that most of the people under 30, who are a huge active part of our business right now, already have the ability to work social media with mastery. They've been raised on smartphones and have never lived at a time without the internet. They just need some simple guidance on how to brand their profiles and make the connection to what they're offering in a friendly and inviting way. All right, next up, we're going to have an intense discussion about building profound depth and sustainable duplication.